Hello, good evening. Now, first, apologies, I am really croaky tonight. I've got a glass of water and I've got a throat sweet, and Rosie decided to bring a cold home from school. I just can't shift it at all. So, apologies if I do start coughing. But it is Monthly Make Monday, and I have got a bit of a plan in mind for today. We're going to be using that lovely little cube that I've not done anything with it yet, so that's what we're going to use tonight. And a bit of a flower head. It's unusual. I have got a very clear picture of what I want to do in my head tonight, so that is what we are going to get on with. So let me find the right button, and there we go. Oh, apart from Facebook is not liking. Let me make sure I'm on the right one. Don't know what it is with Facebook and my phone at the moment, but it always seems to just boot me off at the moment. Right, there we go. I'm back on Tinterweb again. Right, every time I come out here, my phone just jumps off internet. Anyway, let's get going, shall we? I'm hoping we are going to be okay. Doesn't look that way. Let's see if that helps a little bit. Oh, come on, Mr. Internet Gremlins. Bear with. Why is it not doing this tonight? It does look like we're fine over on YouTube, but for some reason Facebook is not playing at all. So let's see if it's going to come back or not. Come on, it's just freezing, isn't it? I'm going to blame it on the weather. So I think I can see your comments, Mum. She says it's going very fast this month. It is going fast this month. I've got lots on at the moment. It's going super fast at the moment. Right, I'm going to come out of this and I'm going to jump back in. So bear with 2 minutes. If you are on YouTube, just bear with me a few more moments whilst we get this back up and running. I know Gremlins this Monday. Maybe Rosie Posey gave the computer a cold as well. So let's try again, shall we? That one, nearly there. Trying to do a super fast, it's just not working. There we go. Right, and hopefully, come on, let's try this again. Hopefully, we'll have just come back up on YouTube. She says, crossing her fingers, crossing her toes. Hopefully, we will be back on YouTube in any moment now. Not YouTube, Facebook. So let's just check. We are back up and running on Facebook with the Gremlins. There we go. Don't know what it was. First time today. It really didn't like me. Whoop, we are back. So I think we've got sound, and it's kicking me off again, I think. Come on. No. Right, I'm going to get going because it looks like I might have fixed it. There we go. Right. So we are still live on YouTube as well. I don't know what that was all about, but I should really keep my fingers moving so I know when it's frozen or when it's not frozen. There we go. Right. Oof, that was a bit of a moment, wasn't it? So we're going to use a cube tonight, and I'm going to do a 5x7. So I've got my 5x7 base. I'm going to put that over there. Yep, seems to have all come back now. And I'm just going to do a load of stamping to begin with. Evening, Mum, again. I know we had gremlins the first time round. Second time's a charm is what I'm going for tonight. So I'm going to ink up my flower head, but I only want the flower head. I don't want anything else with this one. There we go. And I'm just going to stick it in this bottom corner, I think, leaving enough of a gap for me to cut it out in a minute. There we go. And I've got no strength in my hands today whatsoever. I've been drawing all day, so my hands have given up on me. There's that one. Oops, a daisy. I could have just got an empty stamp block, couldn't I? Never mind. Sometimes my head really doesn't help. And then I'm going to turn this round so I can stamp this in the corner. There we go, I think that's inked up enough. I need to cough. That's not a good sign, is it? Trying to cough and stamp at the same time. Evening, Maxine. There we go. I'm just going to give this a quick press. As much of a press as I can. So I'm just doing the edge around that little block. There we go. Hope I had enough. Oh, I did. I had enough in my hands to do it. And then I'm going to cheat. I'm going to get a smaller stamp block. Just realised, hopefully I don't have anything on that stamp block you shouldn't see. I don't, we're okay. And I'm going to add our little floral panel. Finish up with a piece of acetate there. So I'm going to start with this little floral panel, and we're just going to fit that. I turn that around so I don't have to lean and stretch, and making the stamping as easy as possible for me. We're just going to pop this in the end here. There or thereabouts. There we go. I've got our little panel. And then for my sentiment on my card, I'm going to use a happy birthday, because it is a really nice little vertical greeting, isn't it? So I'm going to use the corner of my card. I've kind of stamped all over this one, haven't I? And then we've got all our stamping done and dusted. Evening, Victoria. And I'm going to give myself a bit of a border on this one, because I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do with this bit yet. I know I want it coming down from the top of my card because I think that sentiment looks really good. I've just coloured my finger in as well. But I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. So we will see. So let's give this a quick dry because I am going to whack it with a lot. Oh, I wanted two of that. Let me stamp another one. Let's do a bit of decoupage as well. I know, lots and lots of stamping, and then we'll get lots and lots of painting, and there'll be lots and lots of cutting out. So for this, I only need the flower to stamp out, so that is really all I'm concentrating on inking up. I think I've opened a new ink pad there, because it seems very, very juicy. I don't remember doing it. Oops, I might have gone a bit close to that one now. So I'm only pressing where I have that flower. There we go. There you go. I was really lucky. Look at that. None of my ink came off there. That was luck more than skill. And I'm just going to get a quick whiz with my heat gun. And I have got some brown mats to go with this because I think this stamp set just screens out those lovely autumnal browns and yellows and oranges, reds. I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to work around this, making sure every single one is dry. So again, I'm only concentrating on that flower head, nothing else on that bit. There we go. So let's start off with my panel because that will really be our centerpiece, won't it? So we want to make sure that bit I concentrate on. And I'm going to use my brusho again because I just love using my brushos with this stamp set. I think it works really, really well. So I'm going for a bit of leaf green, a bit of gamboge for the background, and then red. I think I'm seeing orange. Or no, I'm not. I'm seeing, oh, excuse me. I am seeing a lovely, lovely purple. Yep. I'm going to go for a purple one today. I normally do oranges and reds, but no, we're going to go purple. So, as always, we are starting off with our background. I'm going to pop a little bit on my desk. And then we're going to start just adding this. And I only really want to do a colour wash in the background, nothing too much. Just a little bit of colour. Making sure we're getting all those nooks and crannies. Watch out for the leaf because it keeps catching me out. The amount of times I coloured that in the wrong colour. So if you notice on some of my samples you'll have the oddest coloured leaves. So again, I'm just going around in that background. And now I want to add a little bit of extra. A little bit of depth, that's what I was looking for. That was the word. I'm just going to keep adding. Now bear in mind I am going to be cutting out my flower. And normally I'd say I'm going to leave a nice little border around this. But in this case, because it's got such a busy background with it, I either need to ink out all the extra bits around it, or we need to cut it out quite neat. And I think that's what I'm going to go with tonight. But never say never, because I can always change my mind. To make sure our little lovely flower really does stick out. Right, and then we've got that side panel as well, haven't we? Mustn't forget about that. So again, we're just going to do a nice little colour wash. I'm going to go in a little bit deeper and just do a quick frame, trying to make sure I don't colour in my flowers. You can see I'm just trying to build up that colour in that little gap we've got. And then, oh, so my grumbles already. So add a little bit around my flowers as well. There we go. Nothing too much. Got a bit over the top there with that. Right, I'm going to leave that like that and get this dry. Otherwise I'm just going to end up with a big soggy mess at the end of it. I can always see I don't like that bit there. Can you see I've got a big white patch? It's not white, it's just my gamboge is very, very faint. So I did a bit more in. I do like this little panel, it's great for DLs. I know DL's one of my mum's favourite ones to work with. And I have been asked, are we having a summer, not a summer, a spring, summer and a winter. That was the one I was looking for, winter next, isn't it? So I know we've got our Christmas one. We could really do with the winter one, couldn't we? There we go. Right, I'm going to leave that there. Just going to take the yellow out of my brush. And then we're going to do our green. So again, I've got my green leaves down here. And I've got one on my little panel as well. I'm going to go with a little bit darker this time. Normally I start off with a really watery base colour, but I want this to jump off my page. I don't want it to be too subtle. So you'll see I've gone for quite a strong, well, basically more brusho than water. So I'm just adding to it because I really do want that to stand out. There we go. I'm going to do exactly the same just on this little leaf here as well. Just adding bits more until I'm happy. There we go. Quite happy with that. See, I really didn't need much, did I? Oops. Got a nice green desk now. It's always the fun bit, isn't it? See what colour I can turn my desk. we go, and I think it's done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cheat a little bit, because in my head I'm going, is this purple going to work? So before I do anything else, I'm just going to pop a little bit on my desk, and we'll see if this purple's going to work. If not, we might end up with burgundy. But I know I've been doing a lot of burgundies the last couple of weeks. Yeah, I think that's going to work, isn't it? So, again, I'm just going to start very gently, very lightly, popping our purple on. I can't be the only one that has a wobble when it comes to adding colour. Sometimes I have like big pictures in my mind of what I wanted to do, and I really wanted to use purple tonight. But then it was that moment before I started to lay it down on my paper that it's like, oh, am I making the right choice, yes or no? Because I've done it before now where I've put the colour down and it's just not right. Then you have to try and amend the colour. And that's easier said than done sometimes. I suppose with this one I've just added more red until it had turned more to a burgundy. But no, I am loving that purple, I've got to admit. Again, just adding little bits and building up our colour as we go. There we go. And then I'm going to do these two. So this is the one we're going to cut out to go on top. I'll tell you what, no I'm not. I'm just going to add a little bit of purple on these petals. So when I'm curling and shaping, I'm not going to have any white poking out that shouldn't be there. It's going to look amazing, isn't it, that purple? Do get excited. So again, we're just going to start adding layers, building it up. There's so many bits to this, isn't there? So many petals. Okay, and just start adding to it. Just slowly add in. See, my brush has got quite dry there, hasn't it? So I'm just going to add a little bit of water. And all I'm doing literally is just dragging it away from that centre. So always more colour hitting that middle. Just around these bobbly bits. There we go. Again, just keep adding. I don't know, I do go over the same bit lots and lots, because I'll find that I've got a different tone or a different shade on my brush, and it's like, oh, I want to add that in there as well. Just keep building it up until I am happy, and then all I need to just add a little bit more to my desk. Ooh. Maybe not in the puddle of water. So we can do that with little, well, it's not little, the big flower now. And again, exactly the same, nothing changes. Just check my brush wasn't too dark. And we just start off really gentle, really pale. Lots of water, less brush show, or whatever medium you are using. So lots and lots of water. And slowly build it up. There we go. And then we're just going to start adding, dragging away from the centre. Always just dragging that colour. Oops. Got my brush a bit stuck then. Turn it around. I'm making it harder for myself by not turning it around, aren't I? So again, each and every petal we touch, and we just do add a little bit to it until we are happy. There we go. I just want to make it a little bit more deep, the colour in the middle. Again, just adding it in, and my brush is actually quite dry, which is why I'm getting such a deep colour. There we go. Right, stop. It's really hard sometimes, isn't it, when you pop a little bit there. Right, stop. We don't need any more, do we? Super simple. Get that purple out of my brush before I come to paint something else, and I turn everything purple. I've done that a fair few times. And then let's just clean this up. Right, so we have a lovely little square. We have a decoupage for it. We've got a flower head, and we've got a sentiment. I think that's pretty good basis for a card, isn't it? So I just need to make sure it's really dry, because when I come to pop it on, well, when I start cutting it out, you can have my hot little pinkies on it, and it will reactivate that brusher. So you need to make sure it's as dry as it can be before we start. Then hopefully it needs less inky pinkies. That really is famous last words, isn't it? But again, those beautiful butterflies we had a few months back, they do come in very handy for a stray little inky pinky or two. Right. I'm going to start gutting this. I need to be careful here because I need to cut that out. There we go. So I've got my sentiment. I've got my square I'll do my guillotine. So it's these ones. And decision time. Am I going to? I think I am. I wasn't going to, but I am. I am going to cut a little border around them, and then we're going to white out any little black bits, unless we can get away with it. I'm just going to cut this out. Oops. And I've got to admit, when I look at something like this, I think, oh, that's going to take forever to cut out. Because I do struggle cutting out. I make no secret that I'm not a fan of cutting out. It's got to be super easy for me to cut it out, but I can manage these. I wouldn't decoupage into it, that'd be a whole different matter, but I can manage the basic outline of this one. There we go, just keep going around. There we go, no time at all. Look at that. Really does work, doesn't it? And then I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. So I'm going to pop a little border on this one. I'm going to take a little bit more time with this because I haven't got that busy background to detract. And now in my head I'm going, right, I can start to see how this card's going to go together, but it might be a little bit I might need something else on it. So my head's going, There we go. Nearly there. There we go. Right. So my idea is going to have a bit of a sentiment going on. We might even do that coming down. No, we'll do it going up. So we're going to have the sentiment coming down. We're going to have our flower, and then we're going to have this little lovely on that side. So let's cut this one down as well. Oh, I sent everything flying then. There we go. What I want to do with that, I'm going to leave all my rubbish in one place and then we'll come back in a minute and sort it out. Before I do anything else, I was going to say I'm not sure about the brown, but I think it works. Oh, excuse me. There you go, lots and lots of glue. I'm going to use that corner because that one's a little bit dinted. Nothing worse than having a corner and it being dinted, is there? Pop that down. Let's give it a bit of a chop around because it's not going to fit in my guillotine. My little guillotine, my little choppy chop. There we go. And we need a teeny tiny border, maybe even smaller than that. There we go, and again. Oops. Well, that's a very small border because it moved. I moved it. Right. So we have got, maybe not, quite liking it. I've got an inky pinky, but I'm not going to tell you where it is because then if I tell you where it is, that's all you're going to see as well. We've got our lovely little thingy. We're going to have our happy birthday coming down like so. See, I didn't know where's it. No, I don't want to. Chrysanthemums go up, don't they? They don't go down. Well, they might do if they've got waterlogged. let's get that cut. It's looking quite pretty though. Need to make sure I've got everything everywhere today. There we go. Right, we need to decide now. We're going to mat this onto our brown, but we want to make sure. Oh, I think that's going to work, isn't it? I'm going to have to do it right to the top of the card. There we go. I didn't need to be worrying, did I? There we go. So I'm just going to attach a tiny little border on here as well. Again, I'm looking for my good corners. A little bit of a corner like so. And I'm not going to jinx myself, but so far so good on the old you know what front. Well, there's one. There we go, that'll do. And then I'm actually going to stick this on. I might trim that flower down as well. I know, all that cutting out, and then I trim a lot of it off. But I do think that looks quite nice. So I'm going to stick that there. And get my glue out again. I'm just going to take it straight in the middle of that space there. And I know I've moved that, haven't I? I have. I'm going to have to do something with that flower, I think. Might chop that bottom bit off. Yep. And then I just need to chop. Woo! That was nearly flower on the floor then, wasn't it? To be fair, I've only done that once where I've thrown something on the floor and I cannot for the life of me find it. Oh, wrong ones. I wanted my scissors back in my pot, didn't I? Pop that over there. I'm then going to pop this in the middle of that space. I'm going to use foam pads for this as well. I think that could look... It is very, very clean and simple for me tonight. Didn't expect it to turn out as clean and simple. Maybe I have just jinxed myself. But these little squares are just perfect, aren't they? I've got a bit of a rubbish pile going as well. Oh, or do I do jaunty? Jaunty. Straight. It's really hard for me to do straight, so I'm going to do straight, I think. There we go. And then we're just going to do a bit of fluffing and a bit of curling and a bit of... And I was going to white out the edges, wasn't I? I was. And we're still going to do that. So I just need a bit of a white pen. Let's have a got a gel pen. It's still got gel in it. All my gel pens have run out. It's very sad. So I'm just literally going to white out any of the black. Well, it's not going to white it out. It's going to turn it to grey, isn't it? If I go over it a few times, it would white it out. But just taking away. And again, there's no right or wrong with this because it's a very scratchy design, so you'll get away if you go over a line or you miss a bit. Or you reshape the flower. No one's going to come and shout, are they? Okay. You can just see, can't you, that flower then start that because I've whited out, it's giving it a border. So when we pop it on top of this one, it is really going to stand back out. And I know I did all that work with shading around there, but hey ho, it gave me options, didn't it? I like options. Oops. There we go. Before I do anything else, I just need to blow my nose. Do excuse me. Oh. It's like one of those guaranteed things. As soon as Rosie goes back to school, she will bring home a cold. Ed, not so much. Rosie, you can guarantee every single time she brings back a nice little cold. And of course, then she starts to bounce back from it really quickly because that's how she is. And she leaves it with the rest of us. I thought I was going to need more foam pads than that, and I really don't. Luckily, she's not giving it to Bear yet. I don't think he'd be happy chappy if she gave him his cold. Her, yeah. She gave him her cold. Right, and again, I'm going to do the same with this one, though we know. I'm just going to pop it in because I want that middle to really stand out. So I'm just going to stretch the middle. I know you could use a foam mat and things like that, but I've got my I've got the palm of my hand to hand, so I might as well use that as long as it was dry. And I think I'm just going to pop it in again. I'm just going to use a little foam pad. Look at that beautiful shaping. There we go. And again, where's my scissors gone? I am just... Oh, should be okay actually. I was just going to chop them off, but I think it should be okay because it's not hanging over too much, but just enough so it all fits on. But how simple is that? I mean, I've got, you know, check out that white space. I'm more amazed I've got white space on my card. Minimal winky pinkies. And it's kind of worked. Actually, I'm going to leave that there because I haven't got a rubbish bag at the moment. So we have used our cube and we have used the big flower. And then we've just fussy cut, that's the word I was looking for. Fussy cut our little flower head there. you can see how all our sets from our multi-make work together. I suppose if I wanted to add to it, I could have used our panel in the background, but actually I am quite liking that white space. I know I don't normally say that, me liking white space. Woof. I know, maybe I've got more than a cold. Anyway, that is it for me. That was a quick one, wasn't it, tonight? That was it for me tonight. Oh, thank you, Maxine. We will be back Wednesday morning. Not sure what we're going to play with actually on Wednesday. Any ideas, give me a shout, pop it in the group, and I'll have a play on Wednesday. We did polyplates last week, didn't we? I'll have to have a think. If you come up with an idea what you want to do on Wednesday, do let me know, and I will try and do that. So Wednesday, 10:30 in the morning, as Bear would tell me. Make sure you know whether it's the morning or night. 10:30, we'll have a play. We'll find something to play with. I'm now thinking, you can tell, it's like, oh, can we play with on Wednesday? There'll be something around that we can play with. So thank you for watching. I don't think there's anything else to tell you at the moment. Oh, watch out for a sneaky peek of next month's monthly make. I can't remember if it's coming tomorrow or coming on Wednesday. I can't remember what day I set it to post. But there will be a sneaky peek of next month's monthly make, so do keep an eye out for that, because that is just around the corner. I can't believe this month has gone so fast, but that's kind of what happens, isn't it? When the kids go back to school, the nights get darker, and it just seems to be like, whew, then on to Christmas. So anyway, I'm waffling. I'll see you on Wednesday at 10:30. I do hope you can join me then, and thank you for joining me tonight. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.